All right, so to get started showing you some of the performance techniques in Chrome Devtools, I want you to load up the Devtools bar and also check out this great HTML5 game called Biolab Disaster. Now, I love this game. It's made with a fantastic framework called Impact.js and happens to be a lot of the motivation on how we did the grits code base back in the other course. Now, let's take a look at what we have here. When we talk about performance, we always talk about three pillars of performance: network, render, and compute. And what we're going to talk about today first is the network pillar. In order to get an understanding of how your web application is loading, what resources are coming down from the wire, and how long it's taking, the first thing you need to do is open up the network tab in Chrome DevTools. This is a fantastic gem and treasure trove of information because basically this actually records every request that your web application is making to the server and lists it here with a lot of very valid information. For example, you can see what type it is, the status of the request, the content, how long it took to get it, and when it came in the overall request structure of your entire loading sequence. Now, we could spend an entire Udacity course actually going into the nuances of this tool and how to use it, but instead, I want to focus on a couple key things. First off, when you're talking about loading web applications on mobile devices, there's two things you need to worry about. The first is how many requests you're actually making. So for instance, if you scroll down for playbiolab.com, you can actually see there's a lot of assets that are being loaded here, right? Every time your phone has to grab one of these assets off the internet, a lot of things occur. But most importantly is it takes time away from loading your application, mainly because the medium to retrieve the data is a little bit slower than just loading it, say, off the memory or off of the disk. Now, the second thing you need to be concerned about is actually the size of the content that you're trying to load. So if you go over here to the size button and you actually click on it twice, it's actually going to sort all of the assets that you requested by their size. Now, notice right here, this top one actually has 2 megabytes. Now look, that's a single OGG file. Of course, that's going to be music, but basically that's 2 megabytes that has to be downloaded before this web application can be played. Now, did you know that according to HTTP Archive, the average website size is only 1.1 megabytes? So already this single asset is larger than most of the websites on the web. Listen, that's not going to help you load this on your mobile device any faster. So by sorting it by size, you can get a great sense of what assets you have, what sizes they are, and see the relative proportion on how long it takes those assets to actually be loaded.